Hey everyone, it is VEDA Day 18. It's VEDA Day 18, and it's time for some Segway magic with the Snark Squad. Apparently last week, I totally missed the memo that Segway magic was supposed to be on Saturday. This week, we're supposed to be talking about our favorite siblings, which would be in pop culture and books and TV and all the things. And most people already covered a lot of my favorite siblings, so I'm just going to list them so that they're included in my votes for best siblings, and then I'm going to talk about other ones that haven't been talked about before. So the Weasleys from Harry Potter, Katniss and Prim from The Hunger Games, the Bennett sisters from Pride and Prejudice, and Simon and River from Firefly. They are all some of my favorite siblings, and I love them so much. But here are the other ones I'm going to talk about. So one is one that I didn't really think of off the top of my head, but as I was looking through my DVD collection, I was like, holy crap, they're awesome. And that is Michael and Lincoln from the TV show Prison Break. My friends and I were obsessed with this show from college. And, oh my gosh, like, these are awesome brothers. So, Wentworth Miller's character, Michael, gets himself put into prison. He's innocent, he's done nothing wrong, but he gets himself put into prison so that he can break out his brother Lincoln, who was wrongly accused of a crime, and getting him out of prison. And and the whole series is all about him trying to save his brother, and like vice versa. I also really love the March sisters from Little Women, both the book and the movies and all of the things. I just didn't feel like getting on a stool to get my book down, but I grew up watching Little Women, and with the story, I love the book. And I love how these four sisters, like how you see them growing up together. And all the things that they did when they were younger reminds me of me and my sister, and how I would like make her do these ridiculous plays and these ridiculous antics, and they're really close bond. But then it also shows like the ups and downs of being sisters, and how they're really, really close, but they also still fight, and they have their disagreements, and they kind of bicker back and forth because they're sisters. But they still love each other no matter what, and I just think it's a really cool relationship that they show in this story. It's one of my favorite sister stories, and I really, really love it. And honestly, as much, that there is like the whole like Lori thing, but beyond that, their love interests aren't really at the heart of the story, which is something that you guys have talked about in your videos of how like in pop culture and in media, there's so much of a focus on romantic relationships and not on other ones that is super important too. And I think this story is a really great example of how, like, yeah, there's the romantic relationships and all of that, but the main focus and the heart of the story is the bond with the four sisters. I also really love the brother and sister from About Time. So the main character is Tom, and I can't remember his sister's name, and I feel like an awful, awful person. But, like, you see the trailer for this movie, and I love this movie. This movie is this movie is delightful. Everyone needs to watch this really lovely, delightful movie. And you think it's going to be about the romantic relationship, which it is, but it's really also just about him and his relationship with his whole family. And I love the bond he has with his little sister, and how he just completely adores her, and he would do anything for her. And just like their witty, bantery relationship, and how like she'll sit there at a museum for hours with him while he tries to like find the girl that he saw that one time. And it's just, they're really, really adorable, and I love their relationship. And finally, we have Poppet and Widget from The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. They are twins who were born at the circus, and they are like the funnest twin pairing ever. Like, they are just this great duo. And they have their little cats that they perform with at the circus. And they're just like really, really cool. And in the end, they end up doing some really, really awesome stuff. And I love them. They're really adorable. And every time I read this book, like, the more I'm like, oh, Poppet and Widget, you're so awesome. You go, Poppet and Widget. Like, they're great. I would have loved to have a spin-off story about Poppet and Widget and their adventures, along with Bailey, in the Night Circus later after this book happens. So those are my favorite siblings, and I want to hear about yours. If you make a video, which you should, use hashtag #SegwayMagic and put it on Tumblr or Twitter or whatever, so that way the Snark Squad ladies can find it and they can all compile all of the videos together to make a post about it. So yeah, I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.